so let's get started by doing the obvious, googling the flip out of this thing. I went on and started researching, reading articles, watching YouTube videos, and basically I got the gist out of what I needed to do, created a project. I then found out about this really cool place called Unity Asset Store, where apparently there are a lot of paid assets, but they also had some free ones for people like me. I looked at some of the free ones and finally picked this one. I looked into the description and decided that it will work perfectly for my specific case. Then I tried loading the assets from the website's button, but that felt like 5 times, and I finally decided to do the importing from within Unity. Then I got really curious about what exactly is inside the assets folder, so I started digging in. There were things like animation that weren't exactly clear to me. I knew how animations were made, but I wasn't expecting to see them like this. Okay, so it was about time for me to start playing with the assets, and I dropped in the background image. I moved it around and just played with the controls and the positioning of it. I also dropped in some of the blocks that I would eventually build the level with. So this is the level design that I managed to create. Later on in the video I have some small things like animations for the coins and other stuff. I honestly enjoy this part the most, and I think that I will create individual videos about this in the future. It's super fun. I tried running the game just to see if everything is working as expected, and of course there wasn't any kind of dynamic and whatnot, so the game wasn't doing anything. I started thinking about how the player is going to know what is what, and quickly established that I needed to look at collision detection and how two objects collide in Unity, so I googled that as well. Furthermore, the first step was to add a rigid body. Essentially, rigid bodies are components that add physics capabilities to objects in Unity. I then started the game and the red bow just dropped off screen. And that's how I learned about box colliders. I did what I had to do and added a box collider to my player figure. Then I basically did the same for all the ground tiles. I decided to test things out, and amazing. I knew it was time for me to code up the character and how it interacted with the environment, so I basically took this code I found online. I didn't just copy paste it, of course. I tried understanding it and read it thoroughly. So this is how it looks like inside the code editor. I had to create another script which was for the movement of the character, hence the name of the script. Basically, the script determines run speed if the character is crouching or jumping. Even though I don't have crouching intended to be implemented, but based on the user input we change those two flags. On fixed update we call the move method on the character controller 2D. Another script that I had to create is the camera controller script, which was pretty easy to implement as well. The idea here was to have the camera follow the player as he moves around, but only the x-axis. So this is what we have so far. We can move around and our camera is following us. Of course the coins are not working and some other things on the map aren't. Alright, so I did some minor changes and bug fixing, and currently we have a coin system that is properly working, and the thing that I realized is that we don't have an end of the level. So I switched over here and added a chest. I also added a tag for that chest so that I can recognize it inside the script. Okay, so here is the place in the script where I added the condition for the tag that I just created. And inside this if we are going to basically restart the scene, so I had to research that as well. But before that I had to rename the current scene to something more meaningful. Then I went back to finish up my script, and that is it. Now we can play the game. Alright, so the game isn't perfect and it's not something special, but it is something working. I really enjoyed making this video and making this game. I'm going to work on it for a little while though, or at least make it a bit more than it currently is. But for the purposes of this video, it served me well. That is all for this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.